Have you been masturbating too much, and is it harmful or even dangerous to choke the chicken too much? Well, according to common wisdom and mainstream media, yeah, it's not a problem. But according to addicts and people that are actually experiencing the negative effects of too much masturbation and watching porn, yeah, it's a big problem. Here are 5 true ways that too much masturbation can be dangerous according to medical opinion and my personal experience. According to verywellmind.com, the symptoms of too much masturbation include masturbation takes up a lot of your time. Your personal or work life is suffering because of masturbation. You choose masturbation over in-person activities, such as going home instead of staying at a party, choosing to be alone instead of with a partner. You find yourself engaging in masturbation in public or in places where you would rather not, such as a public restroom. You're masturbating when you don't feel like it or when you're not aroused. You masturbate to cope with negative emotions. You find yourself feeling guilty or upset during or after masturbating. You find yourself thinking about it often. And look at this, the impact of too masturbation. A person who engages in masturbation too frequently or compulsively may feel lower sexual satisfaction, reduced self-esteem. Their masturbation habits interfere with other areas of life such as personal relationships or work. Man, if that sounds like any of you guys who are masturbating, let me know in the comments or hit the like button if that's you. In my own experience as an ex-addict to masturbation and porn, and as also someone who has been helping guys in my line of work for over 10 years now, I've been helping guys in group settings overcome porn and masturbation and get their lives together and actually figure out what they really like to do in their lives and what they're passionate about and try to fill their lives with more things that are exciting and not boring. But oftentimes the thing that I mention to them is that as long as your life is boring and not filled with thrill and excitement and genuine passion, then your life will always be consumed with masturbation and porn. You'll always go back to the habit, because of the reasons that were explained in that article. So these are the 5 real harms and dangers of masturbation that I did experience, and also a lot of the guys I work with are experiencing currently. Number 1 is that masturbation can be addictive as hell when it is linked to pornography, okay? And this is across the board true for guys. When you link such an innate desire and sexual activity and climax such as masturbation to very specific type of content online such as pornography, you create a very strong mental imprint, which is what I call it, a mental imprint of that specific content. This is often why people develop fetishes or strange addictions to whatever that you're masturbating for. You could be masturbating to a water bottle or a book or whatever it is, and you could experience that addiction and that imprinting. So this is why masturbation has become an addiction on the rise, especially in the last decades, because of the advent of the internet and the fact that pornography is readily available anytime, anywhere on your phone. Is that across the board, when people do masturbate, they're masturbating to either pornographic content, definitely, or they're masturbating to fantasy. And when you link those activities with a very innately deep-seated need and desire we have as humans to experience sexual activity, and you link that with pornographic material, you become addicted to that thing. And it's a double-edged sword, because this is why pornography itself is so dang addictive, is because we're linking that activity of watching porn with the sensation of climax and masturbation. So it's a never-ending cycle and spiral of addiction. And you go and you know very well, if you've been masturbating, or if you think you have a problem, or if you have a porn addiction, you know very well the mind tricks. You know very well the mind battles that you're always constantly facing of, I want to give it up for a week. I'm going to go cold turkey for 21 days, for a month. I'm going to give it up for good or for a year and see what happens. And then failing over and over again. And the reason we fail over and over again is because we've trained our mind and our body to react and respond sexually to very specific content. This is why pornography and masturbation linked together is extremely, extremely harmful to you as an addiction. So the second big harm and danger for too much masturbation is that it desensitizes your penis. What I mean by this is when you do the act of masturbation, physiologically, you do grip your penis a lot stronger than you would in a natural sexual relationship. And the result of doing that for many years, many times, or even decades over and over, especially when it's linked to an addictive behavior such as watching porn, you become very addicted and responsive only to the experience of that specific thing, and you're unable to have an experience of actual genuine sexual relationships with a woman. And that's desensitization. If you've ever been addicted to a food, such as junk food or fast food or McDonald's or candy or whatever it may be, if you eat that food too much, you become desensitized to other food that's actually better for you and healthier and more organic, and you kind of learn to crave, and you trained yourself to crave that kind of food that was unhealthy, but you used as a substance for so long. The third way that too much jerking off does affect you is erectile dysfunction. We have seen a huge, massive increase in erectile dysfunction as of late. The reason being, as I've mentioned, we have created a perfect storm of linking a very important human desire and activity of sexual climax. We've linked it to never-ending, always novel, ever-growing, and beautiful pornography, our good friend and good emotional crutch pornography. So the result of that desensitization and the addiction of porn results in erectile dysfunction, the inability to have an actual erection and keep it for an actual sexual relationship. The fourth way that choking the chicken does affect you in a negative way is on your focus. When you're masturbating and watching porn and you're going through the constant up and down, like all of those symptoms that I read in that article right there, the lack of focus, the lack of ability to just be present, the lack of ability to focus on your work or school or your family, your parents, or your kids, or your marriage, or what you're passionate about cycling, and always going back to the guilt and the shame of your actions. It's a lack of focus. When people masturbate across the board, what is the experience you feel after you're done? Is it, I'm ready to take on the world, I'm ready to go on my bike and do a 100-miler? No, that's not the experience. I'm ready to change the world and make a difference for the better. The experience of masturbating is actually the opposite, is depressed, is, I can't believe I did this again. What am I doing with my life? I should be at work right now. I should be at school. I don't want to be in the public restroom doing this. This is the effect of on your focus. When you have this constant back of your mind, this habit that you're always going back to because you don't know how to deal with negative emotions, as was also mentioned in the article. If you don't know how to deal with the stresses in life, you don't know how to deal with anxiety or depression, whatever you're experiencing, you always will go back to porn and masturbation. You don't know how to focus because you always have this demon in the back of your head saying, this will be here with you forever. You cannot give this up. And as long as you have that demon in the back of your head, as long as your life is boring, you will always have this part of you. So you have to learn how to focus. And the effects of learning how to have control of your masturbation and your porn habit is that you'll have more focus. And at the same time, the more you focus, vice versa, the more you focus on your life and things that you care about and things that you're passionate about, things that make you come alive, things that you can't even sleep at night because you're thinking about so much and you can't wait to get up in the morning and share with people and share on Facebook and Instagram about what you're doing in life. Those things, the more you do, the less porn, masturbation, all this stuff will be an issue for you. So focus is the element of life that masturbation is zapping from your life. So the fifth real effect that too much masturbation has on your life is on your mental health. Okay, so addiction itself, whatever the addiction is to, affects your mental health in tremendous ways. Depression, anxiety, lack of self-esteem, lack of focus, lack of vital elements in life that you need, lack of relationships, isolation. The more you're alone, the more it becomes an issue, and the more you're alone, the more it becomes an addiction. The saying is that addiction is born in secrecy and it dies in community. Remember that. Addiction is born in secrecy and isolation, and addiction dies in community. If you're living in the dark of masturbation, of porn, and you're feeling the shame and guilt of it weighing upon you, then you're not able to fully live. You're not able to be around people and experience true mental clarity. And this is why masturbation is so harmful for your mental health overall. Is addiction across the board is so consuming of your life and your energy that you have nothing left to give. You have nothing left to work on the areas of your life that you really care about and are passionate about. If you want to be a cyclist, if you want to grow freaking plants in your garden, or you want to freaking make sofas, or you want to work on house remodeling, or you want to be a podcaster or a YouTuber, you want to start a business, you cannot do that with your whole heart. You want to have a family, you want to get married, you want to create a smashing marriage and relationship that you can be proud of. If you want to have kids and raise your kids in an environment that is loving, you cannot do that as long as masturbation, porn are in your life. This is what the trigger was for me, guys. This is what I realized. This is what set me on this path to recover myself, okay? It was simply this. I realized that as long as masturbation, porn was part of my life, I would not be able to live my fullest. I will not be able to love my wife and my kids. I'm a dad, I'm a parent, and I'm a husband. I would not be able to love my family with all my heart as long as this dark secret is part of my life. And as soon as I realized that, I realized the impact that this is having on my life. I realized the negative effects that masturbation, the addiction cycle is having in my mind, and that I was using it as an emotional crutch, an emotional support system to go back to when I was feeling negative emotions. I was never able to deal with my negative emotions in a real way. So I got help. So I decided to do a reboot. So I started to take a challenge. I did a 21-day reboot. Okay. And I've made a 21-day reboot challenge for the guys that I work with. And I want to give that to you. I want you to participate in that. Go to benuyama.com and you can check it out there. But overall, you really have to consume more content like this. You have to fill your life with things that are vitalizing and reviving you and not sucking from your life, okay? And not taking from you. So I encourage you to smash the like button if this video is helpful. Also, check out those 2 other videos that I mentioned about how to quit porn and also the benefits of semen retention and NoFap that you never thought possible. It is good to have you. Take care.